All right, you see that, Grant? Let me make it full screen and play it.
What's that terrible thing in the left corner of it?
That is a sexy guy right there.
I have no idea what that is, but
I'm just gonna let this play as we talk about it. All right, so I purchased Dragon Age, played it as soon as it released, about an hour after it released, and immediately started live streaming it. I haven't even touched the game like by myself. If I'm live streaming it, that means that's my only play time is me live streaming it. So we have 3 live streams up right now. That is I'm pretty much playing from the beginning to end, and hopefully I can stream everything. I might get rid of some of the side quests on my own and then get back into the main story, maybe stream that instead of some of the, side content. All right, so me personally, the maps, I'm not doing a review yet. Still got to beat the game. I'm going to just kind of let you know what I think so far. The character creator is fucking stupid. It's not a good character creator. It's a character creator to appease certain people, but not overall, not to, I say, encapsulate the an entire community. It's used to appease certain type of people. Of course, your pronoun, all those people, it appeases them, but it's not all encompassing good character creator. The beards look stupid. A lot of the face, I mean, you can change your face to whatever you want. It's not an outstanding character creator. It's not a good character creator. It's below average. Okay.
Like every beard that you went through looked like 45 BC Greece.
I mean, it was really terrible. Like a lot of aspects of the character creator. It's
like,
not as good as a lot of people say.
Or did you want the Socrates? Like that's basically what the.
Then we can get into the top surgery scars, all of our deisms, our New World bullshit that they want to put into it. Fine, go ahead. But they don't understand. There's going to be that review when it comes of what I'm going to say of why this is just why they're kicking themselves in the fucking nuts. Now, after the character creation, go into the story. Fantastic fantasy world, Grant. Okay. At the beginning. Okay? The fantasy is high fantasy at the beginning, after the character creation. You don't get any ejected New World political, gender, ideological bullshit at the beginning so far. For my 7-8 hours of gameplay so far in the beginning, it's great storytelling and good fantasy. Okay. So far. Mm-hmm. I'm dreading when I have to get to those certain points.
Yeah.
Anyway, but when it comes to compared to like Dragon Age Inquisition, the linear maps I don't like them. The linear storytelling, linear progression in the maps is just, they have fantastic settings, Grant. Like cool looking cities and
it's a beautiful, it's
a great looking game.
Yeah.
But with the linear progression in the maps, it feels so small at the same time.
Yeah. Because I kept asking
you. It feel epic. Like,
because I kept asking you, I was like, can you go over here? And you're like, no. I was like, well, can you go over here? And you're like, no. So
like you go in the city, like in some of the dock city, and you can see all these cool buildings and great setting, but you're only limited to a certain part of the city.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying you can probably go there maybe later on as you progress the request, because I did find out one of the forests, the beginning area, I felt limited, but then a lot of the side quests for the characters and stuff, companions, brought me more into those areas. Mm-hmm. But it still felt linear because I was trapped to where I could go. Yeah. It wasn't like those bigger maps in Inquisition, right? They could just go wherever you wanted to and fight things and do side quests. It's a big map. Right now, I feel very like compressed. Yeah. Like it's not that. And right now, they're telling a good fantasy right now. Like the story is good. Is good fantasy. I haven't gotten to some portions that you see online yet. And I don't want to get to those portions. Like I really just want to quit playing the game because I don't want to get to that and ruin the fantasy. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Let it get. It's like they built this good fantasy and then just said, you know what? Fuck our game. Let's just add our new age political gender crap into it.
Yeah.
And kick ourselves in the nuts.
Yeah.
Like why do that? You created a fantasy universe. Keep it fantasy. Keep it away from us, away from our stupid ideals and stuff like that in Western politics and Western culture. And so far, it's telling a good fantasy, but it's still very linear, and I just don't like that part. Now, the RPG aspects when selecting the class and stuff, I love playing a warrior, dude. In this game, it's fun.
Yeah, look, I mean, a lot of the techniques and stuff look pretty good.
And where you can build your warrior, like the class you pick, you can go to be a champion, which is more just straight out tanking and AoE slams in the ground. My play style.
Yeah.
I love just wrecking things as a tank. Or you can go into Reaper, which is necrotic damage, more like a Death Knight type thing as a warrior. Or you can go into like Slayer, which is just more melee weapon stuff, you know. So that aspect is good RPG mechanics in it when it comes to building your character what you want. It's decent. It's a solid. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not anything new, but it is solid. Picking your skills is very. I don't like that it's subject you to only like 1 or 4 skills. You have an ultimate and 3 skills. You know what I mean? Like you can get more skills, but you only have these skills on your bar at a time when you're fighting.
Yeah.
It should be more, in my opinion. And one aspect I do like is the combo system. Like if one of your characters, your companions apply weakens or sunder or some type of static debuff on an enemy, you can use a skill that detonates that.
Yeah.
So let's say I have Nev put weakened on an enemy. I can use a skill that's specifically to detonate the weakened status effect and create a combo that increases the stagger damage done and does a whole nother effect.
That's cool.
Which is, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
But it's just not. It's still. I still feel it's limited. Like they really missed a chance here with the maps and a few other things and the storytelling eventually, which hopefully maybe I can skip all that. I don't know. Is stuff that I don't want in a fantasy world that I'm playing a character that I want to be and a story how I want the story to go. Can I skip all that?
Yeah.
If they push it in my face, they're going to get my review is going to be a little bit different.
Yeah.
Okay. But I'm pushing this game at my first 8 hours of playthrough without experiencing anything else with just the fantasy and the fighting. I'm looking at like around an 8 right now. Okay. 8 or even a 9 with some of the storytelling.
Yeah.
But I haven't reached a lot of portions.
Yeah.
Now you're telling me like you're making this type of fantasy and then you want to enter into all this new age bullshit that you want to add into your game and kicking yourself in the nuts. Dude, this needs to be studied. Yeah. Like you've set up this fantasy world and then you want to add our shit into it. It needs to be studied. Like they are killing themselves because they had to add this shit to the game.
But you know what that makes you if you say that.
Yeah. Listen, I'm not going to go on social media and just blast the game, okay? I've enjoyed it currently. With my current playthrough, besides the character creator, I have enjoyed it. Now, how long am I going to enjoy it? Is the real, question. I don't know. So this is, you see in the screen, that's the skill stuff. Like I'm building to what I want to build to. I'm going up to grab some skill, then I'm going over to the left to the champion class.
Yeah, I don't know if I like stuff like that. That's just me because it reminds me of, and no, I'm not saying it because it's this game. I didn't like when Final Fantasy X did it either. You know, like that how it was like that.
I like it in action RPGs.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's good for like
This is an action RPG. Really, I mean, it's like God of War. Honestly,
which one is I like it for like the Diablo style games.
Now I don't want to put it in the same category. God of War is a masterpiece, just about. But this for action RPG, building how I want it to be, like skills wise, and like what I want to build to, I don't mind this. I like this. Turn based, no, of course not. But like this kind of RPG, yes, I don't mind this skill tree stuff. Because it's you can do what you want, kind of. You can do what you want, and you can say, let's say, if I don't want to be a champion, I can go over to Reaper and build like a Death Knight. sort of thing.
What
So
about
it's
what
pretty
about the
good.
camera?
All right, the camera I had issues with the beginning. Eventually I was able to fix a portion of it because I needed, instead of, it wasn't in the camera settings, it was in the cursor settings. I had to make the
Okay,
cursor faster. So
I see.
my controller, I was able to spin the camera faster. So I was able to fix that, but now I'm still in close quarters and like the camera's just going all over the damn place. Like it's very frustrating
Like
sometimes
the
during the
Nintendo
fight.
64. Like,
Yeah, like during some fights, like you get in a small area and your camera just goes haywire. I don't know what it does.
yeah,
Um, so that gets frustrating. But overall, if you can keep it in an open kind of area, the combat's fun. But I mean, I'm still going to go to the fact that like, why? Because I know I'm going to get to that shit, all that loaded crap from
yeah,
our world.
yeah,
I know I'm going to get to it. But I'm asking myself, man, why did you guys have to do it? Like, you had it,
yeah.
right? You almost had it.
Yep.
But
And
now
then,
you want to ruin the fantasy.
yep.
You want to tell people this is what I think.
Yeah.
And that's what perception I'm getting. Like they're throwing it in your face. And it's stupid. Baldur's Gate 3 never threw it in your face.
No.
You know what I mean?
You can choose
You
whatever.
you created your world
Correct.
in Baldur's Gate 3.
If you
really.
if you wanted that, you chose it.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm very hesitant because I enjoy it like again, solid RPG. Not great, not masterpiece. Okay. So far. So that is my initial assessment very early into the game.
Yeah.
Very early.
It's a fair. I mean, that's fair. You know.
But I liked how I am happy I was able to create the character that I wanted, with the warrior personality and voice, everything. I was happy with that.
Well, it only had one voice that was like.
Well, it had different ones. They had masculine voices, two of them, but then you could set the tone of either low or high with either of those two masculine voices. They all sounded horrible, so I went with the one with the deepest tone.
Yeah, one sounded like Ed, and one sounded like me. So
Yeah, one sounded like a little bitch, and one sounded like
Ed.
me.
One sounded like me, and then one sounded like a little bitch, like Ed.
No, you didn't hear what I said.
No,
One sounded like a little bitch, and one sounded like me.
Nope, can't flip it on me.
Yeah, because you do sound like a little bitch. But okay.
Hey.
So most of my I break all the boxes. I probably frustrated people watching my stream because I break every box I see. I have to break it.
What'd you say?
Yeah.
That's how.
What?
This how
fake voice. What are you talking about?
This is how I really talk.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. Okay. But yeah, that's my synopsis so far. And we'll get to the real review probably in the next several days.
Yeah.
Maybe the next podcast. I don't know what today's Friday. Maybe Thursday or maybe next Friday.
Let me ask you a question. Do you feel, because you see how long this has taken you, you know what I mean? Do you to get to a certain point? I mean, it took you 8 hours just to get to where you are now. Do you feel like a lot of these professional reviewers played the game, the whole game, before they?
If you gave it a 10 out of 10, it's not a 10 out of 10 game. I can tell you that with just 8 hours of playing, it's not 10 out of 10.
I guess my point is,
you could subject cases break down a score and say story 10 out of 10 maybe, or whatever you like 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
But the whole aspect of a game, this is not a 10 out of 10 game.
I guess what I'm asking is what do you think the percentage of people the professional, quote unquote, professional reviewers actually completed this game?
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and tell you, majority of the 10 out of 10 scores, the very high scores, even some of the 95 out of 100, whatever, we already covered that in our last podcast.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot trust a lot of those scores because a lot of them are playing to the he, him, trans flag, all that shit on their fucking profiles. Yeah. And this is an LGBTQ game, which is labeled on stream as.
Yeah.
So you can say, oh, well, you don't trust them because they're gay or whatever. No, I don't trust them because they're part of a fucking cult.
Yeah, they're biased
Okay.
already.
And they are already bought and sold into this game because it has to succeed
Yeah,
to them for their gender politics.
yeah,
It has to succeed. So that's why I don't trust it.
correct.
And I would be the same way if you made a game about the Second Amendment Constitution and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And only people gave it a 10 out of 10 was like Charlie Kirk and a bunch of other people. Of course, I would also be like, hold on now.
Yeah. Well,
I'm the same way with this. So, yeah, it is my personal opinion as an RPG guy for 30 plus years. It's not a 10 out of 10 game. I can't even put it at 9 right now, honestly. Early, ongoing, I'm looking at an 8 right now. 8.5 as my gameplay right now. Like where I'm at in the story and everything I've experienced, 8.5.
And it could drop.
Because there's flaws. There's a lot of flaws. You cannot give a game with like this with flaws, camera issues, a little bit bland storytelling, a 10 out of 10, dude.
Now you're just nitpicking.
You cannot
Ed.
do that.
You're just nitpicking now, Ed.
I'm nitpicking as an RPG enthusiast that has played RPG for 30 plus years. Okay, I know what an RPG what it makes to, what it takes to make a good RPG.
What, bigotry, misogyny?
There is actually a little bit of misogyny in this game. It was actually kind of funny.
They took out the misogyny in Final Fantasy VI. Remember I told you that?
Well, like Nev, you can choose to take a companion with you, and they end up getting hurt, and their face is like bruised for a while because you chose to take them on this mission. Well, Nev's face is like all battered.
She is beat up,
and it's like
because I said something. I said, "Why is her face so thick?"
And yeah, because I chose to take her on this mission, and she got injured.
No,
and my character had the choice of be like, "Oh, like suck it up." And that's kind of like what I chose.
You're such a bigot and a misogynist. Ugh, you make me sick.
Hats off to him for that portion of the game, okay? Because they gave you the decision. But there's a lot of stuff in there that's kind of like, and that I haven't got to. We'll talk about that probably later.
How am I doing this podcast with you? Oh my God, yuck.
But yeah, that's my take on it. I still can't I'm not giving a review until I complete it. So hopefully by next Friday we have a review up.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you right now, out of all the crap that you guys read online and from both sides, but out of all the publications that gave it a score, the best score you're going to possibly get for a game like this is from a grassroots podcast like ours.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go ahead and tell you, I will give it a fair score, but I'm giving it a score based off the entire game that I've experienced. So if you want to see a real review score of what this game deserves, you need to check our podcast out probably by next Friday.
Yep. And we will give it a fair score.
I will give it a fair score because I'm playing it.
And
Grant is sitting over there playing with his dong probably.
If you didn't say that, I was going to make that joke for you.
Yeah. All right, Grant. Let me close this. Okay. I think that is it.